who are you? That's what I would like to find out. Who are you? Like, if you're that important, you ain't working here. You know what I'm saying?
What's up, everybody? It's Cale Berger from 93.7 The Fan. This is Shootin the Stick, presented by Leon's Billiards and More, located Route 19 in Wexford. We're joined this week by the legendary Paul Zeise, 93.7 The Fan, Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, and now News Radio KDKA. Paul, thanks for jumping on the show.
That would be me. Thank you for having me. I'm surprised that it took 4 weeks before you got me on, but that's okay. I mean, you know, there's other more important people apparently here.
I guess. How are you at pool?
I'm not very good. I haven't played in a long time. We never played pool. See? Right? That's all I'm saying. I'm just making sure we're playing the same game.
I feel like I'm getting hustled here.
You're not getting hustled. I'm bad.
I feel like I'm getting
That
hustled.
was an easy one.
I'm sure Paul's made
Even Pony could have made
a lot of money.
Right?
What was that?
Even Pony could have made that one. That was an easy one.
Tell me about the time that you got 2 tickets from the same cop.
I was on the New York Thruway, and I might have been going a little bit faster than the speed limit. Anyway, I get pulled over. Guy gets out, gives me the Joe the Cop speech, you know, you're going too fast. It's like, listen, man, just go write the ticket. You know, I mean, I got to get to the series. Then he takes off ahead of me, right? To me, that's like a draft, you know, that's like a draft car for me, you know what I'm saying? All right, well, if he's going to be driving, I can be behind him, and I'm good. Well, he's hitting his gas and going faster and faster, so, okay, I'm going to go faster and faster, too. Go about 2 or 3 miles. Then all of a sudden I see he kind of like pulls off to the side of the road, right? So I'm like, oh, okay. So I slow down as I pass him. Thinking, okay, I'm good. He gets right back out behind me, pulls me over, gets out, starts screaming at me, you don't learn your lesson, blah, blah, blah. You're a smart ass. And I'm like, my man, what are you talking about? I was behind you. He goes, well, you know, just because I was hitting my gas doesn't mean you can hit your gas. I said, well, I was behind you. How do you know how fast I was going? So now we're getting into it. Truck comes by. And he's got one of those, you know, Canadian Mountie, you know, state trooper hats, you know what I'm saying? It blows his hat off. It blows across the hood of my car and down into this gully. It's like karma for this guy. In the gully's mud and stuff like that because it had rain. So now he's all angry. He gets there, he goes and he tries to get down and get his hat. And his foot slips out from underneath him and he goes down the hill into the mud. So me being me, like my first inclination was, I bet you if I hit the gas, he can't catch me. I'll just get off the next exit. That was my first thought. And then I thought, well, that's probably not good because he got my license plate. I decided I'm going to be the good guy.
Sure.
So I go around, put my foot here, put my foot, grab, get his hand, pull him out of the thing, right? So now I'm thinking, I helped this guy out. He's going to let me go on his second ticket, right? No, he starts screaming at me that his hat wouldn't have fallen into the thing if he didn't have to pull me over. So goes back and he writes me the ticket anyway, even though I pulled him out of this mud gully thing. Cale, the record is not very good.
We're going to change that today.
I'm sure you're going to win today, right?
We're going to change that today.
I'm sure. Head in that one. Oh, no, stop. All right, good.
Paul, I've heard that you are a mastermind when it comes to the Rubiks Cube. Not only do I want to see you solve it as quick as you can, but how did you acquire the skill?
Believe it or not, I'm in this business where I couldn't get A's, I couldn't get B's and C's. I'm in this business, but in math I got A. In fact, I scored back at the old scoring in the SAT. I scored 790 out of 800, and I knew the problem that I missed. When I was good at it back in the day, I could solve it in like 25 seconds. I'd have, you know, kids at school would be they would bet me $1 that I couldn't solve it in less than a minute, and I could, always. And then it became, I started charging $2, bring me your cube, I'll solve it for you, right? Which was a little hustle for me. So I did make a little, I did monetize it a little bit more. And there you have it. The Rubiks Cube is solved.
You will not see something more impressive today than what you just saw there.
Again, I used to be able to do that in less than a minute. And really, I would have done that a lot quicker, but I was trying to explain what I was doing. The big thing is just understanding how each movement that you make changes the entire cue.
All right. Paul, you're known for having a great rant every once in a while. Whether it's sports, whether it's news, whatever it could be. What are the ingredients of a great rant?
The part about it is my DNA. I mean, listen, there's not two more emotional people groups than black people and Italian people. My dad's black, my mom's Italian, okay? So I got it in me, no matter what. The other part of it is, it has to be, something that is just spontaneous. That's a big part of, I think, my rants, and again, because of my DNA, I gotta get it out. Or the other day, I had a rant on KDKA, apparently there's certain spots you ain't supposed to park. I don't come here during the day, till now, right? So they put one of those pink slips on my car. One of those pink slips. Oh, if you park here again, we're gonna tow your car and all this other stuff. You know what I mean? So I lost my mind about that. Like, who is that important in this building? Like if you're that important, no offense, you ain't in this building. So who is that important in this building that we can't park in any space we want to park in? You know what I'm saying? And that was the thing. When I would come in, I would just park in a space because that's what I did at night. But apparently one of the blue hairs downstairs apparently got all rankled because I parked in his spot. Like, who are you? That's what I would like to find out. Who are you? Oh, can I squeeze that in there? Can I squeeze that in there? I think I might be able to squeeze that in there. I'm going to go 13 off the bumper. Bang.
Paul, I know you've had a lot of jobs in your career. What's the worst job you've ever had?
The worst job I ever had, and I have had a lot of jobs. I did plumbing for a couple of summers. I was a mover, worked at UPS. I was a cab driver for 15 years. But I'm telling you, working for a moving company, moving is the worst job I've ever had, especially in the summer. It's hot. You're dealing with people's stuff. One of the boss of the crews was like, hey, we gotta go. We got a job. We gotta go right now. So 4 of us get here. What happened was some lady called that morning, said, I need you to be at my house at 8:30 and move everything out of it. Well, of course, here she was leaving her husband. So we get there. She's like, everything goes. Everything, right? Okay. So we're getting everything out of the house. About 11:30, lunchtime-ish, husband comes home. Okay. So I guess one of the neighbors must have called and said, hey, Molly's leaving you or whatever, So now he comes in, what are you doing? This and that and the other thing, right? He's all upset, this and that and she's, I'm leaving your ass, this and that. She's screaming at him in the driveway. So he says, well, you can't take everything, this and that and the other thing. So we'd go in to pick up like a coffee table. And he'd be like, no, that stays. And she'd come running in. That goes and everything goes, right? So it's like, well, she's like, I'm paying. I'm telling you what's going. So she's there. So finally we get to this room and it's a guest room and there's a bed, right? So it's like, okay, we got to take this mattress and everything. We start to take that and he comes. Now by this point, he's a defeated man, like a defeated man. Tail between his legs. He says, you can't take that. I need to have a bed to sleep on. And she comes up and says, take the bed. And then she turns to him and says, listen, I found your ass in the gutter with nothing. I'm leaving your ass with nothing. And walked away. Now we're all trying not to laugh at this guy, right? But the whole point is, it was really we shouldn't be laughing at someone's misery. But when he went back down the steps, we all fell on the floor laughing. So but that was one of the better stories of that.
Oh,
looks good. Look at that. Listen.
Paul, you mentioned that you were a cab driver. What's the most outrageous, outlandish thing that ever happened to you in your days driving a taxi?
There was a lot of different things that happened in a cab. Some probably, this is a PG broadcast, so I probably couldn't tell you some of the most outrageous things that people did in my cab or how things went. I can tell you, if you want a good cab story, I'll tell you one of the funnier ones. I pull up to the casino. It's like 1 in the morning, right? And of course, if you're a cab driver, a casino's a great place because people are coming out all the time, and a lot of times people going back downtown or whatever, so quick trips, but they throw you 20 or whatever. I get this kind of like punk, young dude. He's wearing like a polo shirt, Joe Cole, gets in, and the cab smells like whatever perfume the guy's wearing. You know what I'm saying? So he does one of these to me. I'm in the driver's seat. He gets in, and he goes like this. First of all, don't touch me. That's first. And he gives me one of these. Hey, Paco, take me to Mount Washington. So, again, it's PG, so I won't say exactly what I said, but I said, get out of my cab. Get out of my, you just called me Paco. Get out of my cab, right? Oh man, listen dude, I just said, get out of my cab. I will not say it again. Oh, what you gonna, okay. I put it in park, right? Open the door, walk around. Open the door like this, right? And this, this little wuss is crawling across the seat like this, like he's gonna get away from me, right? I grabbed him by his belt right here, yanked him out, boom, threw him on the ground, slammed the door. I told you were getting out of my cab. So then I gave him my door, right? I get in my cab and I realize there's cameras all down there. Like, oh man. So I'm like, all right, I'm gone. Oh, I missed this. Setting up for you.
Oh!
I believe that's what we call choking. That was the Scott Norman moment right there.
Oh no.
In there.
Oh no.
In there.
Paul, very impressive. Very impressive.
Well,
You say you haven't played in 20 years. I doubt it. Very, very impressive performance by you.
well, thank you.
What's your message to the people after that impressive win?
It's just like riding a bike, man. You just pick it up and it's nice and easy, right?
Well, congrats on the big win. Looking forward to hearing you on KDKA.
It's not easy being me. It really is not easy being me.
We'll see you next time on Shootin the Stick, presented by Leon's Billiards and more.